What is going on, YouTube? It's Joey, and today we're coming with the updated mock draft, one round. This is post the Sam Darnold trade, and post like the Jadeveon Clowney signings and the Aldon Smith signings and like all of those moves. This was like 3 weeks later than the first round, so it's mock draft 2.0. Things are gonna change. Like and subscribe. Please get me to 200. I'll be having a great special, the Packers rebuild, if you want to see that. But anyways, um, we got first round mock draft 2.0. The Jaguars on the clock first. They're not trading down as we have trade offers, but they're not trading down. They're going Trevor Lawrence. It's really no biggie. Trevor Lawrence, everyone has as their QB1. Well, not everyone. There's some people that don't have him as QB1, but I think that's what the Jaguars are gonna do. It'd be pretty dumb if they didn't do that. Because Trevor Lawrence has that great accuracy, has the build, everything is there. Probably going to be um, the best day one, although we never know. But the Jets here, they trade Sam Darnold. So obviously now the sticking with Sam Darnold narrative is no longer there. So they're going to get Zach Wilson, who has special arm talent and had a great season. He also has the mobility and everything. He has a lot of talent and can be a great quarterback day one. So they're going to go Zach Wilson. Now, the 49ers traded all the way up to 3. I don't think they're trading down. And there was a lot of guys mocking Mac Jones to the 49ers. We know they're going quarterback here. Uh, they had 17% at the 49ers going with Mac Jones on this site, but that talk has kind of calmed down a little bit. They could very well go Mac Jones, and it just could be a great surprise. A lot of people like Mac Jones. He has that great accuracy and things, but he doesn't have the mobility. I think the 49ers do have a good offensive line and a good system, but I think they can't pass up on the talent of Justin Fields, that arm strength, that mobility, and I think a coach like Kyle Shanahan can help mask his flaws of missing the first read and getting the ball out late. I think Kyle Shanahan can help with that in a good run game. I think would just absolutely uncover all of Justin Fields' talents. Now here's where it gets interesting. The Falcons could definitely trade back, uh, but I don't know if they should trade back. I mean, they could trade back. Um, Panthers wouldn't need to trade up uh, anymore. They could trade back with the Broncos, but like, are the Broncos really in need of a quarter? They are in need of a quarterback. Um, but I don't know. It's a tough decision. The Falcons here could go Kyle Pitts, um, and they really could go Kyle Pitts, but they need edge, cornerback, safety. Um, I think the Broncos are sold on Drew Lock, so I don't think they're gonna trade up. Uh, so I don't know. This one's interesting. I think we are gonna go Kyle Pitts here because the Falcons do need a lot on defense, but Kyle Pitts is just that kind of guy that's really that talented. I mean, the Panthers could trade up, and don't get me wrong, Panthers could trade up with the Falcons in order to grab Kyle Pitts, because they do need a tight end, and that would be very realistic. But the Falcons also need a tight end, but they also need a lot of defense, which is why they trade back. So it's a hard draft to predict. We will have draft coverage on this channel after it happens. But 5, the Cincinnati Bengals. It would be stupid of them not to go Penei Sewell. If Penei Sewell is still there, when she very well should and could be, they got to go there. They just have no other option to not go offensive line. They could go Jamar Chase, but like, what good is it having a receiver that play with your quarterback if your quarterback has no time to throw? So you need to keep your franchise quarterback protected, and hopefully Cincinnati realizes that. But we're here at 6, and the top 3 wide receivers are still on the board for the Dolphins. But the Dolphins just need to shore up that offensive line, and this is where Rashawn Slater is still available. He opted out last year, but he is one of the best prospects in the draft, so they very well could go offensive line. They also need guard, uh, but the defense also needs edge rush, but I don't think they address that now. I think they have to go to Sean Slater. Um, he's arguably the best prospect in the draft. Him and Penei Sewell are 2 really good ones there. But here, the Detroit Lions have their choice. They can pick any one of these. They can get Jamar Chase, Heisman winner Devontae Smith, or Jalen Waddle. People argue any of these guys are best in the class. It can be 1A, 1B, 1C. Jamar Chase is most people's number 1. Um, but Devontae Smith did have the best, most dominant season with the Heisman Trophy. So he's a lot of people's number 1 and a really good fit with the Lions. His frame is his only concern, but it's not really a concern for me. And then there's, of course, Jalen Waddle here, um, who's just that explosive player. But I don't know, man. Uh, Jamar Chase did sit out last year. I think the route running and everything, every skill Devontae Smith possesses, I think it's just too much to not get. I think they go Devontae Smith. They very well, it seems like a Lions pick to me. I don't know. There's just a feeling. If Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle are there, I think they still go Smith. I don't know. They could go Chase, but they definitely need wide receiver, and there's just no avoiding that. So the Panthers here, they got Sam Darnold. They're not going quarterback. Trey Lance is still here. He might fall to the Broncos now that I think about it. But they got Sam Darnold. They're not going to go quarterback. Uh, they don't need receiver. They have Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. They don't need that. They could use tight end, but Kyle Pitts is off the board. Again, they could trade up with the Falcons to get Kyle Pitts, but uh, they also need cornerback. They could very well go Patrick Surtain. I think they're good edge rush wise. They're good there. They might need an inside linebacker to kind of get that Luke Kuechly kind of thing there. So it's kind of like, do you want Micah Parsons, who has off the field issues, but he has a great blitzing ability? Uh, do you want a Patrick Surtain here? Um, it's really tough. Um, but I'm going to go Micah Parsons. I think just what he brings to a defense. The off the field issues are a concern, but once you get to the NFL, it's kind of like, all right, you got to get your stuff together and you got to become an NFL player. I think he could be a great Luke Kuechly replacement if he can develop into that. I think his versatility on the defensive side can really help that defense, and they could just become something really scary. Now, here the Broncos are actually lucky that the Panthers don't need a QB anymore and the Falcons restructured their contract, because now they can get Trey Lance or Mac Jones. Now, I don't think they should go Mac Jones because that offensive line, it's okay, but it's not one of the best in the league. So I think Trey Lance here, he has that mobility. He has the most talent in the draft. He has that arm. He has one season of production, but the talent, it's just so much. I think Trey Lance to the Denver Broncos, if he falls, they seem to be kind of sticking to Drew Lock, which is why I don't think they're going to trade up. But Trey Lance sitting there at 9, I see you got to take him. And right here, I don't think the Cowboys are going to trade back because they need a corner, and Patrick Surtain is the best corner in the draft. There's so many Alabama guys. So he goes to the Cowboys, just great technique, just great stuff. And Jamar Chase is falling here. He's falling quite a bit. Do the Lions pick him up? They just signed, or not the Lions, the Giants. They just signed Kenny Golladay, so it's like, do you go that? But they need offensive line. Um, but you look, Christian Darsaw is here, so that could be a thing. Uh, I mean, it's kind of difficult here. Uh, you look down here, Elijah Vera Tucker could be the one that moves around for them. The Giants lost Kevin Zeitler. Uh, he can be interior or exterior, so that does have a lot of value. You need to protect Daniel Jones as much as you can, in my opinion. Um, Darsaw had a great season. I think they go Darsaw. Um, they just need all the help they can get at offensive line. The Eagles here, ooh, what are they? They need receiver. And Jamar Chase still here. I think this is where his fall ends. And receiver needy team, they could go Jamar Chase. Now, the Chargers, it's very tempting to go Jalen Waddle. He's kind of like that Tyreek Hill, except maybe not as fast, but kind of has that explosiveness, that just deep threat and speed and everything. It's very tempting to do that. But then again, they do need offensive line, and they have Keenan Allen, and they have they have Keenan Allen, they have Mike Williams. They also had Guyton, who showed flashes, so I think they're okay there. Kyle Pitts no longer here. Ooh, what do they do? They could very well. That's very tempting for me, but they just need a versatile offensive lineman, and I think that is going to be Elijah Vera Tucker. It may be a little bit of a reach here, but Tucker, they could slide him out to left tackle. They could slide him into guard. Um, they could very well do any of that. Future piece on that team, the Vikings, if they just got another receiver, that would just be ridiculous at this point. But they do need tackle, but again, they'd be reaching hardcore. They do need a lot of edge rush help, though. So they could very well trade back. Uh, I don't know what they do here. They could use safety, Trayvon Morig, but I think edge is more important. We do go to edge. Quiddy Pay, they have him ranked as the best, but Jalen Phillips, Jason Owe, you could argue any of these guys are the best in the draft, but I don't know. Quiddy Pay's kind of that edge rusher that improves every year and has all that talent, but can you put it all together? Owe has been doing pretty good. Jalen Phillips, a lot of people like. He has injury history, though, so I don't think that's the kind of guy that the Vikings would want. I think they should go Quiddy Pay. Now, the Patriots are a very realistic trade back. They could trade back for sure. Um, their needs, quarterback, yes, with Mac Jones is still here. Mac Jones is still here, and I just think he could become a Tom Brady 2.0 in the right system. They have a great offensive line. They re-signed Cam Newton, but I don't think they're completely 100% sold on Cam. It's only a 1 year deal. And I think sitting behind Cam for 1 year and taking over could just extend their dynasty since they just built up that roster real good. Um, man, I think they got to take him. I think this is where he would go, and they take Mac Jones. And the Cardinals, I think, would be ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic, if J.C. Horn fell this far. I think it's a no-brainer. No Kyle Pitts. They could trade up for that, but it would just take so much capital and so much value. And they just could use a Pat Fryermuth in the second round, maybe someone on the D line. Sheldon Richardson got released. They could sign him in free agency. They should. The All right, we gotta switch mock draft things sites because the other one ran out of trades. I can't trade anymore with this one. That's pretty stupid. But we're gonna try to trade here. Okay, we traded. We traded. So now the Panthers have traded up to 4 to take Kyle Pitts to the Panthers. They trade up for him. They're afraid that the Falcons might take him, and they offer and offer. So now we're just gonna try to get back to the point where we were. I think the Kyle Pitts trade with the Panthers trading up with the Falcons is pretty realistic. So we're kind of doing a little bit different mock draft here, but we're basically sticking to the same thing. So I'm gonna have to do my picks all over again. All right, so here we are at the Raiders, and we did. So we're here now at the point where we're with the Raiders. They could go Jalen Waddle, but I think a team that really needs wide receiver should step up to the plate, and that could be the Bears. That could be the football team. Uh, Man, who would really, really, really want a wide receiver? I think this is where a team. Man, I think this is where a team like the Baltimore Ravens would propose a trade. So we're actually going to trade here. We're going to trade with the Raiders. Where's the Raiders at? Right here. So Baltimore is going to have to give up some capital, but they are a win now team. So they're going to give away some stuff here. Maybe a first and take these away. So they're going to propose here. The Baltimore Ravens have traded up to 17 to take Jalen Waddle. It's crazy, all right? But I think Jalen Waddle could fall. He could. Because all these teams have so many needs that Jalen Waddle just falls right here to 17. And yeah, so the Dolphins here at 18, they need edge rush pretty bad. They already got offensive line up here, so I think they go edge rush, and because they get rid of Shaq Lawson. Um, I think they go Jalen Phillips, who is going to be a ready edge rusher day one. He has that injury concern, but I think they could help. He could help them day one off the edge. So that's a pretty good draft pick for the Dolphins. With the Washington football team here at 19, staying put, they need offensive line bad. Oh boy, but it would be kind of a reach to go with someone here, just a little bit. Uh, like this one's tough for me to decide. They need linebacker, tackle, safety. Like they do need linebacker, and I think a guy like Owusu Kormo or Micah Parsons would make sense, but I think they'd like a guy. Oh boy, um, not a stout tackler struggling blocks. I think they could just add a guy like Micah Parsons at that linebacker position, maybe a little bit more short of a linebacker than Owusu Kormoa is. We had him going to the Panthers earlier, but since I made this trade with the Panthers here in this mock draft, since we can't trade in the other one anymore, we got Micah Parsons falling to 19. So 20 here. The Chicago Bears could use quite a bit. They could use a corner, Greg Newsome. They could use, I think, with all the top offensive linemen gone, I think they do go wide receiver. Rashad Bateman's here. This is a round where he would go. Um, he is a good dominant receiver who has the production, can step on the field. I think he could produce day one. He has great quickness, kind of a guy that the Bears could use. So Rashad Bateman, I think he's going to go there. The Colts here, they need left tackle. Cosme, I think he could slide over there. Stanzo retires. They need a guy like that. So the Titans here, the Jets could trade up, but I don't think trade up one spot, but I don't think the Titans are going to trade down. That's the thing. So I think the Titans are going to go Greg Newsome, who is the best corner available. They need a corner. They lost Malcolm Butler and Adoree Jackson. They got Janoris Jenkins, but they just still need a corner. The Jets are another team that really need a corner. And I think Caleb Farley's injury is very impactful. But I think they're not a win now team, and they could afford to wait for Caleb Farley to recover. And Caleb Farley has all that talent in the world, so I think he could rebound, and I think Jets would get him. Now the Steelers here at 24, they could reach. They have to reach. I mean, Tevin Jenkins is a good player, a good tackle. They could slide out there. They could go running back, but offensive line struggled, and you need that to help Big Ben. Running back in round 2 makes sense for them. The Jaguars here, 25. They have needs. They're probably going to go something on defense here. They could use safety, Trayvon Moehrig, tight end. I actually do think they should go Trayvon Moehrig. Trayvon Moehrig, where is he? He's right here. He's very versatile, can play safety, can move all around for the defense. I think they need a guy like that in their secondary. So Trayvon Moehrig could be a great player for them in the future. 26, the Browns. I think it's a no-brainer. They need to go Owusu Kormoa. They need linebackers, probably their remaining biggest need. Before, you could argue linebacker and another edge rusher, but now that you have Jadeveon Clowney just signed, I think that for sure locks them into a linebacker. 27, you got the Raiders who traded back. They need something here. They got Yannick Ngakoue for the edge. They could use Nick Bolton in the inside. Zaven Collins. They need to go defense or they need to go offensive line. And I think just all the offensive linemen are off the board. So I do think you're going to go defense. I don't think they should go edge rusher here quite yet. The Bolton or Zaven Collins has a lot of more positives than negatives, but he can impact the game day one. But I don't know, man. I think Nick Bolton, where is he? I don't even know. He's all the way down there. I think they do go Zaven Collins, a linebacker. They just need linebacker help. They need all kind of defensive help. but a good player for them for sure. At 28, the New Orleans Saints. The running backs are still here. They don't need that. They could use edge rush here. I think they should go edge rush after losing what's his name? Losing Trey Hendrickson. Uh, I think that should be the move here. They could go wide receiver and Terrace Smart. I actually think they should go wide receiver. They go the best one available with Terrace Marshall right before the Packers. The Packers are a team that has been trading up quite recently in drafts. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade up this year, but I think the Green Bay Packers are just in need of a quarterback. You have Zach Smith here available. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. If the Packers do that, I'm just gonna freaking cry. But they could go Christian Barmore here. I think that'd make a lot of sense. They could go Creed Humphrey. They do need cornerback. They could go Melifanu, but I don't think they should go cornerback here because some of the top guys are gone. Uh, I think protecting Aaron Rodgers is quite the need here, but I think Christian Barmore is still sitting there. You could sit him right next to Kenny Clark on the defense and Kingsley Keke, and I think that solve a lot of problems for them. And here, the Bills have to go best running back in the class. They just need a running back. They could go edge rush for sure, but I think Najee Harris there. Just get him. They need a run game, and I think Najee Harris, that versatile kind of thing, can impact the game in the receiving game for sure. And the Chiefs could use linebacker, but I also think they could use edge rusher. Tom Brady was clean in that Super Bowl. I think it'd be a reach for a tackle at this point. They go Joseph Osai. Could really well help them a lot. And here, the Buccaneers, I'm going to have them going Gregory Rousseau. So right here, it took it away. But Gregory Rousseau, I think they're drafting for depth. They have so much greatness all over that team. But they could use depth at edge rush because JPP is getting older and you just paid Shaq Barrett a lot of money. But Gregory Rousseau is that developmental guy that needs to sit and not be a starter right away and thrust into a situation. He has that crazy upside. So I think the Buccaneers is the perfect team for that. I think with that coaching staff would just help them a ton. So that is my mock draft. One round. I had to switch over from this one because this wasn't allowing trades anymore. So I had a couple trades in here. I had the Panthers trading up for Kyle Pitts. I think that makes sense. They could really use him. Kyle Pitts is a really good player, so I think the Panthers could trade up with the Falcons because if the Falcons don't trade down, they should take Pitts. Or if they trade down defensive player, I had him going Azeez Ujulari, who's arguably could be the best edge rusher in the class, but that was probably my most inaccurate pick, but I think I did pretty well. I had the Ravens trading up for Jalen Waddle, who slid. I had the receivers falling a little bit. O. Wyman going up first. But that is my first round mock draft. Updated, post Sam Darnold, posted to Javion Clowney, post all of that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Mock Draft 2.0. Thank you so much for watching. 200 subscribers special coming with the Packers rebuild. And I'll see you guys in the next video. There's my mock draft one more time. Take it easy. See you next time. Peace.